Welcome back, everyone. We are excited to be here with you. It's been a while. We've been having some fun traveling and seeing family, and we really just took a break, a step back, just to enjoy the present moment and be with our family. And today we are talking about the difference between intention and your calling.
So let's jump right into it. So, your intention. What's the difference between your intention and your calling? Well, we've all felt a calling in our life, and every single day we feel it. We feel called to make certain decisions, to pursue different careers, to be with certain people, to move to certain cities, right? We have these thoughts, these dreams, these inspirations that come to us. And why do some people manifest that and realize it while others don't, right? Because an intention has power, an intention has energy, it has momentum because that individual put the work into it. And on this episode today, we're going to talk about 4 keys that you can do to turn your calling, that thought, that inspiration that keeps coming to you, into an intention that has power, that has energy, that has impact, that has manifesting energy inside of it. So let's go ahead and start with key number 1. And there's no certain order to this. All of them are just as equally as important. And without one ingredient, you're not going to be able to create that beautiful cake, right? So the first ingredient we're talking about is knowing exactly where you're at right now. And this is a challenge. We've seen it with clients we've worked with ourselves. It's really challenging sometimes to own that you have shitty results in whatever area you're looking at, or to own that you're missing the mark, or to own where you really are right now. And sometimes we have blind spots and we can't really see it until we start looking for it every single day. And sometimes it could take months. Sometimes it could take a powerful coaching session or a conversation with a friend and you realize it. But the power is knowing where you're at so you can start from that authentic space.
And sometimes it comes from pain. We just talked about this the other day with our mentorship students in Unlock Your Inner Medium. And one of the things that I was sharing was there's been moments in my life where the way that I actually made a huge change, it didn't matter how much, I thought that I wanted to change. It wasn't until I experienced a lot of pain that I forced myself to change. It wasn't, motivation that I felt like, oh, I want to go and start eating right. I feel motivated to do that. No, it was the self-talk, the negative self-talk. It was the repetitive things that kept coming up that would cause pain to get me to take action. And I think that's a big thing to recognize. Sometimes we don't make change until we have a lot of pain. Do we have to experience pain every single time? No. If you're putting yourself in learning environments and you have a coach and they're guiding you through it, you might have the realization before you get to that point of increased pain.
And again, and we all have pain, but some of us will acknowledge it, own it, and it sounds like, that's what you've done, Lindsay, over the years with certain aspects of your life. You own, well, I have a lot of pain in this area. Let me adjust my nutrition plan. I have a lot of pain in this area. Let me adjust this. And I think that's the power, is like owning that you have pain in the same way, like mental pain, in the same way that you would if it's in your body. I feel like it's a lot easier for people to own that, oh, my knee hurts or my back hurts. And the ironic thing here is that most of the pain in our body, it's literally mental pain that's manifesting. It's our
Right.
unconscious or God or the universe trying to get our attention. So
That's the last step of the pain, is the physical pain.
yes,
The first step is the emotion. And sometimes we numb out. We don't allow it to process.
yes. So whether you have pain in your body or you're catching it before it gets to your body and you're acknowledging it mentally, the power is owning whatever you're going through. And it's so easy for us humans to put so much judgment on, oh, this emotion feels good, this emotion feels bad. And we're sitting here with our human minds saying what's good or what's bad. Well, with that realization that it's the universe speaking to you through your knee pain, Now all of a sudden that turns in from something that's bad to what, whoa, thank you for communicating to me. Thank you for helping me see this part of myself that I need to heal, that I need to move the energy so I can follow that calling and become that person and be that person that I need to be.
Exactly. And I think the worst place to be in life is comfortable. Comfortable in a situation where you're staying still, everything's kind of stagnant, you're in a space of like everything's comfortable, but you're not really fulfilled. I think that's the worst place to be, actually. Because when you're in a comfort level that you don't want to move anywhere, you don't even think that you have to because you're comfortable. But I believe as humans, we're always growing, and that's what we're searching for is growth. That's what makes us feel fulfilled, is feeling like we're growing in some way. So if you're in a space where, maybe you're working a full-time job and you're like, everything's perfect, everything, it's comfortable, like it's good. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. I'm very good at my job. I have a great boss. I get, 1 or 2 vacations off and everything's good. But you still energetically feel like something's not feeling fulfilled or exciting. That's when you need to check in. Like, am I comfortable or am I fulfilled? And I think that's the space that we want to be in. Does it mean everyone should go and leave a job and go start a business? No, that's not what I'm saying. But most of you here listening to this podcast are people that might even want to transition from a full-time job to a full-time business instead of just doing it part-time. Actually, a lot of the clients that we work with have left their full-time jobs to go off and pursue their mission in the work in the world because they felt like their heart was pulling them there.
Yeah, and just to make this real, the clients, most of them are some kind of coach or healer or medium, or there's several modalities that people will use to help people transform, and that's what they use. So like you said, it's like owning, like, all right, that calling's coming to me and it's telling me I'm a healer, I'm a coach, I'm whatever word you want to put on it. I'm here to go help people make changes in their life. And the question to ask is, am I acting out of fear, or am I acting out of my intuition, my instinct, my inspiration? And many times we've seen a pattern with some clients that we work with to where they'll keep on going from training to training to training. Here, I'm going to go to this and I'm going to learn this other modality of healing. I'm going to learn coaching. I'm going to learn mediumship. I'm going to learn, and they're never really taking action towards that calling that's telling them, hey, start a business. Go put this to work so you can impact people. Go do your sessions. Go do your reading sessions. Go do your healing sessions. And instead of doing those sessions, they're getting in their head and they're thinking, wait, I'm going to go get some more education and some more education and some more education. Is education part of this journey? Absolutely. Lindsay and I were consistently putting ourselves in educational programs and total immersion programs so that we can get better. But we're also doing our coaching, doing our readings, doing our teachings, doing our podcasts, and putting ourselves out there. So that's another step in this. And we'll get to that step, but action is powerful, intentional action. How do you get there? By knowing where you are right now. Am I acting out of fear, or am I acting out of my intuition? Am I taking action towards that calling? Yes, the answer is yes or no. Like, it's literally that simple, and owning that and not saying, well, I need another year of training. I need to do this. And so to get to another key is vision. Your clarity in your vision. Like, where are you going? And many times this won't be clear until you add that action piece into it. Because as you start to take action, you realize what you really enjoy doing, what really works for you. And it also humbles you, and it tells you how much more work you really need to do. So the vision's very powerful, but it's only powerful, in my opinion, from our experience, from what we've seen in our own lives with our clients' lives, when you compound that with taking action too.
Exactly. And it reminds me of a story that I just shared with our group, our mediumship students, that when I left third grade teaching and I was going full time with my readings, and my action steps were I was giving readings after school and on the weekends. I was doing that. And then when I left teaching, I kept it going where I was doing readings all the time because I wanted to keep open spots because I didn't know when my readings would come because I had just left a full-time job that was secure. And I remember going back home to Boston and my schedule was so filled up and I did like 5 readings 5 days a week and I was taking action. I was definitely taking action and doing the readings. And that's when I experienced a little bit of pain there because I thought, oh my gosh, this is exhausting. I just left my 3rd grade teaching job thinking that I wanted to do this full time, but this is overwhelming. I'm so tired and it's not fun this week. And I started to realize, okay, I can tweak my schedule. I don't need to do what I thought I should do. Like, yes, it was important for me to take action, to experience a little bit of pain so I could shift things around. And I think that's an example that goes with it, that when you take action, you recognize what you do want and what you don't want.
Yes, what you value. And you started to notice you value your time freedom too. You value being recharged, being clear for each reading that you do. And you realize it's quality over quantity.
That's what I was just going to say. Definitely quality over quantity. Like,
So-
I'm not the type of medium that's going to give, 10 readings a day just to get people in. I would rather give quality readings and like give them all of my energy. And I think that's important to really think about your vision. Like, what type of healer or, medium coach do you want to be? Are you going to be the coach that's serving every single person? Or are you going to get very specific on, I want to work with high level achievers? Like, I know that the students that we work with, the majority of the students over the years, we work with thousands of students. They are people that want to grow and learn. They want to be pushed. And someone might not love to work with teachers because we're going to push you. We're not going to say, oh, it's okay. We're going to push you to that next level. And I think it's important to think, what kind of coach am I, or what kind of medium or healer am I?
Yes. So it's like, how do I create a clear vision? How do I get my vision more clear every single day? Well, obviously, we told you one answer is taking action. That creates a clear vision. But if you just take action and you never take time to slow down and reflect and to adjust your vision and to put it on paper, well, we've seen how that goes. We've done that ourselves. We've seen it with our clients, and you start to hit burnout. Like if Lindsay, for example, just kept doing 10 readings a day, kept going over and over and not reflecting, not adjusting to see, is this working for me? Then she would have burnt out by now, but she didn't. So how do you continue to create a clear vision? One way is to join coaching programs, is to join communities. That's why we join them ourselves, other coaching programs, other communities, and we offer it to our clients because there's a need for it. There's a need for people to get together with like-minded people. And when you get around that energy, just being around that energy, your vision gets more clear because you hear other stories like you're hearing today on this podcast episode. And from those stories, you see yourself in them. And then you also receive your coaching. So joining other programs, communities, journaling every day, right? Doing the stuff that you already know, visualizing, and taking time out of your day to give to yourself, to love and support yourself, to give you the same grace as you would your kids or the people around you. And so it's that combination of doing that and taking action that really lines you into your calling and creates that energy, that momentum, that power of intention. The difference between having a calling that's just coming to me and I'm just dabbling in it, and I'm not really reflecting, I'm not owning where I'm at, I'm not looking at my dark side. You could see how that could dabble on for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. People, we only have so much time here. So you want to speed it up. And when you join communities and you join coaching programs with like-minded people, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that speed.
Yes. And that's a big thing, is if you want to go further, faster, go in a group. But if you want to go slower and you want to do your own research, then go alone. So we've seen it. We've talked with people that have come to us and they're like, thank God I actually joined the programs that I've joined, because now I don't feel alone. And now I feel like I have direction and I have hope. And I know that if you've done it or if another student's done it, then I can do it. So I think that's huge.
Yes. So we all have those days to where we don't feel like doing it, right? All of us, every single person on this planet, it's ebb and flow. It's a wave comes in, a wave goes out. Sometimes that wave feels like you're stuck. It feels like you're unclear. It feels like you're questioning yourself. This is all healthy, right? This is all very healthy. What's the difference between people that allow that to stop them from their calling and then put it off 6 months, a year, 2 years, and they get back to it and dabble in it again, compared to the people that just keep plowing through that? Well, what we found in ourselves and our clients, it's knowing your why. When you know why you're doing something, and this is something that you're doing it for things other than yourself, right? Yourself included. You're honoring yourself, you're loving, supporting yourself, you're following that calling, but you're attaching it to things outside of you too, to something bigger than you. And when you do that, and you hear that old cliche thing, the why that makes you cry, that's what we found. Like that why that makes you cry. Sometimes you don't know what it is. Sometimes in one year it's one thing and the next year it's another. So this is a daily practice of figuring out like why. And how do you do that? There's many ways you can do that. The most powerful way is to continuously ask that question, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why else? Why else?
And that purpose of figuring out why you're doing it is, it ends up vibrating in your soul, and people feel that. They feel that energy, and you start to attract more opportunity too, because you're so clear. I truly believe in energy and alignment. When everything is in place, things start to flow so much easier. And we've recognized it with the process of actually going through your coaching sessions, Tony. When you're getting them clear on their why, all of a sudden they have these massive breakthroughs that they didn't even know existed inside. They're like, well, I thought I knew why I was doing this. And then they take the moment to go deeper, have the space to think clearly, and then everything starts to unfold in their life. And I was just talking to one of our students the other day on a call, and she started, years and years ago being a client of mine. She got a reading, and then I don't know how many years after she took a class, she took the Unlock Your Inner Medium, and then she, attended the retreat, did coaching with you, did the business course, did our business mastermind. And she just shared the other day, she's like, I just can't believe how much has happened in this amount of time. She lives in a very small town of only 800 people, and she never even knew how this was all going to unfold. And now people are driving hours away to come to her. She's doing audience events. She's in a space where she's really getting a lot of traction with people coming to her, and it's because she chose to get clear on her why. We saw everything transform before our eyes, and it's just so beautiful to see when people take the time and honor themselves and invest in the time, energy, and money into their calling, and they take action and they don't stop. What actually takes place is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is beautiful to watch. We've watched her build that power of intention, that power of energy, that momentum over years, like you said, of putting in the work, the key principles we're talking about here, taking action, knowing your vision, knowing your why, reflecting effectively, knowing exactly where you're at. These all sound so simple, but go out and put them to practice, right? Humble yourself. And when you do that, you'll realize it is simple and you know what to do over and over, but you get humbled very quickly because life comes at you and will smack the shit out of you. And then you got to come back stronger. You got to come back stronger. And each level that you go to, there's a whole nother blind spot you got to reveal within you to get through, to break through that level.
And I'm thinking of our other student who I love also. We're so grateful for all of our students that we have, but she came to I want to say it was a 3-hour workshop in Massachusetts, and we met her. And she had a full-time job, and she had been doing readings for, at that point, I want to say it was 20 years, private one-on-one readings. And she really wanted to leave her job, but she didn't know how it was going to happen. And just by sitting, and she did the same thing every single program she showed up for, she was present, she put in the work. She did the each program that she did it with all of her heart. And what ended up happening was, what she thought she was going to be doing is one-on-one readings and leaving her job. And she did leave her job and she did do the one-on-one readings. But then she got more clear, and she started to show up actually for another level to mediumship, and she learned group events. And now she's doing group events and traveling around her area. And just to see our clients flourish like this and following their vision and taking the time and putting in the work. I think a lot of people think that, the internet's like, oh, it's so easy for them. No, they put in the work behind the scenes. Things that show up are showing up because of the work that you do behind the scenes. And I know I can speak for our clients in the work that they've put in.
Yes, and the one that you talked about, she found her zone of genius.
Yes.
And she only found it by putting herself out on the court, not staying in the stands and having opinions. Oh, that looks good. That doesn't. Oh, they're good. They're not. No. You don't find your zone of genius. You don't find your power of intention by being in the stands. You have to get out in the court. If you're not out in the court right now, my question for you is, why not? If you're listening to this podcast episode, you're most likely somebody that you have a calling that is calling you to the court. And if you are on the court, I want to applaud you, because you understand, we understand, it's a challenge out there. It's very simple key principles that you can do over and over and you can break through, but it is work like anything else. So I want to applaud all of you that are doing it, because you're putting in the real work, and we see it, we feel it, and it's infectious. So just to recover all of these 4 keys that will help you turn your calling, that thought, that inspiration that's coming in, that's telling you go do this, go do that, don't do this, into a power of intention, which has momentum, manifesting power, energy, and impact. The 4 keys: know your vision. Go over it every single day. Join communities, join coaching programs, get very clear. Know your why. Figure out that why that makes you cry, that energy inside, that no matter what happens on the outside, you will break through. You will continue to go, because key number 3 is consistent action. And when you take consistent action and you're clear in your vision and your why, and then you're also reflecting, you're knowing exactly where you're at each day, each moment. Here are my results. Here's what's working. Here's what's not working. Let me eliminate what's not working. Let me maximize what is working. You're doing all of this work. You're looking at your blind spots, the dark side of yourself, because this is a personal development course disguised as a business. If you go out and do your own business, you literally have to grow. You have to personally develop it to grow your business. It's not just, here, let me become the best medium or coach I can be. No, it's let me become the best person I can be, and the best medium and coach and healer I can be. And those 2 right there are the 2 that will continue to help you break through and actually create that calling, that vision, that inspiration that's coming to you.
Yes. So we want to hear from you and see what insights do you have from this episode. Share with us. We want to hear. And also just something that's coming up. We have a few spots left for Unlock Your Inner Medium Level 3. If you're someone that's been wanting to take your one-on-one readings to the next level by practicing group readings, which that's exactly what works to get you even deeper with your one-on-ones, practice group readings. If you want to know how to really master group readings, audience events, then join us in Level 3. We're starting on January 27th online on Monday nights. And then the next thing that we want to share with you is we do have some spots left for our annual Psychic Medium Retreat in Florida. This is our 8th annual retreat. If you are someone that's been a former student, then you can sign up. And if you're not a student yet and you want to be a part of the retreat, reach out to me at Lindsay at lindsaymarino.com, and I'll give you some information on how you can be a part of the community, and then we'll do an interview with you to see if it's a good fit. Okay, talk to you next time. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. If you liked it, leave a 5-star review on iTunes, and remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel too.
If you can think of anyone else that would love this episode, share it with them right now on social media or email. And remember, getting results is a process of learning, applying, and reflecting. Stay consistent and continue to grow every day.